What's up, space pirates? This is your captain, the dread pirate Dr. Disaster, and today we get to talk about Star Wars and Lucasfilm again. Because in a move that cements his name next to such revered figures as Benedict Arnold and Judas, Dave Filoni has been named as the Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm, which will have him working essentially as Kathleen Kennedy's right-hand man.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Dipshit.
This move shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone who's paying any attention to Disney and Lucasfilm these days. Jon Favreau has been basically iced out at the company. Dave Filoni seems to have been rewarded for his loyalty to Kathleen Kennedy. This announcement is interesting timing considering the recent mainstreaming of mockery of Kathleen Kennedy via South Park.
Is there a problem, people?
No problem at all, Mrs. Kennedy.
Indiana Jones, put a ticket in and make her name a gay!
Kathleen Kennedy has become a meme, and making fun of her has become chic in geek circles. With that in mind, for a company like Disney, they probably figure it's time to sanitize their image. Filoni has long been a part of their stable, and it seems like he currently has the favor of the bigwigs, while Favreau has fallen off. Of course, many of us speculate that these developments are a result of whatever Lucasfilm civil war may have taken place over the past few years. I don't know how any of this has gone down behind the scenes, but what I suspect is that Filoni sold out Favreau, transforming the Mandoverse into a part of Kennedy's vision. And now it seems he's being rewarded as the heir apparent to Kennedy's throne once she finally leaves the company.
Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy.
In this video, we are going to have a look at Dave Filoni's interview / puff piece by Vanity Fair. Whenever someone from Disney needs to look good in the public, it seems Vanity Fair is always happy to launder their image. In any event, we will dissect what Dave says and see what it means for the future of Star Wars. I personally believe that this just means that Filoni is being set up as the future ruler of the studio, which means we can look forward to Ahsoka never dying under any circumstances, while the triumphs of other characters are retconned and donated to Ahsoka instead. More than that, it means a continuation of Kathleen Kennedy's vision for the franchise.
I'm blind.
In any event, I'd love to be among the first to congratulate Dave on achieving this promotion. And also, I come bringing gifts.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
Alright, me hearties, you know the drill. Hit the like button to help me conquer the dreaded algorithm monster. In any event, let's dig into this Vanity Fair article whose headline says, Star Wars undertakes universe-shaking changes after Ahsoka. Creator Dave Filoni, Rosario Dawson, Hayden Christensen, and Natasha Liu Bordizzo reveal how their show altered the galactic landscape. Dave Filoni has a new mission in the Star Wars universe after guiding Rosario Dawson's force-wielding hero to distant celestial realms in the first season of Ahsoka. The writer, producer, director, who started out working alongside George Lucas on the animated Clone Wars show nearly 2 decades ago, has ascended to a new position at Lucasfilm, one that will give him input into all the galactic storytelling going forward. This first paragraph reads an awful lot like a thesis, telling us the paper's purpose. I mean, they're not exactly hiding it. They're not exactly subtle. This is basically a press release from Disney dressed up by Vanity Fair, who are gifted with access in return for their flatteries. The whole process makes me sick. The article continues, "Now I'm what's called Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm," Filoni tells Vanity Fair, which places him into the development process much earlier and in a much more expansive capacity than his previous advisory duties. In the past, in a lot of projects, I would be brought into it, I would see it after it had already developed a good ways. Filoni will now work more directly with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and alongside Carrie Beck, a veteran producer turned head of development, to originate and shepherd the next generation of Star Wars shows and movies. Remember back when we thought Dave Filoni was our guy alongside Jon Favreau? I was definitely suckered into it. Many of us had the feeling that since Dave was originally trained up by George Lucas himself, that he would create Star Wars stories like George. We believed that he and Jon Favreau were essentially forces that were standing up against the garbage Kathleen Kennedy had brought into the Star Wars universe. After all, it was the best explanation for how The Mandalorian's first 2 seasons kicked ass, as opposed to the 5 Star Wars movie under Kennedy, which sucked ass. But in the past year or so, Dave has shown his true colors.
It was said that you would destroy this Sith, not join them!
Meanwhile, the name of Jon Favreau is practically not even heard within these circles any longer. If there was a Lucasfilm Civil War, it seems clear that Jon just didn't win it. And if that's true, then it would seem to me that Dave turned on his partner in order to further his own career.
Now you see that evil will always triumph, because good is dumb.
The article goes on, after spending many years involved in the creation of Star Wars animation, including the Rebels series, he became increasingly involved in live action as a producer with Jon Favreau on The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. In this new role, it's opened up to basically everything that's going on, Filoni says. When we're planning the future of what we're doing now, I'm involved at the inception phase. The news comes a little over a month after the conclusion of Ahsoka, an 8-episode Disney Plus series, blah blah blah. More importantly, this news comes just a couple weeks after South Park released their Panderverse content, which goes completely scorched earth on Disney and, more importantly, Kathleen Kennedy. They made it mainstream to mock and humiliate Kennedy. This whole thing feels like a method of laundering the studio's image, and I get the sense, once again, that Dave is meant to be Kennedy's heir. They're setting him up because they think that many disgruntled fans still like him. Which was true until some of the stupid shit he said recently, and until some of the stupid shit that he's been in charge of polluted the screens of our TVs. I think he's meant to take over for Kennedy, and then she would be able to claim him as her apprentice.
You are now mine.
Anyhow, due to the long-running Hollywood strikes, neither Filoni nor Dawson were able to speak about the show when it debuted. In a Vanity Fair exclusive, both of them are now free to discuss the changes the show brought to the broader Star Wars narrative, both on-screen and behind the scenes. And from here on, they pretty much just spend the rest of the article talking about how awesome Dave is. If you want to read it, I'll have a link in the description, but really I've read enough. This is clearly just a distraction from the turmoil that Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy have been enduring these past few weeks. As Geeky Sparkle from Clownfish TV said on X, "Not going to lie, I thought Filoni being Chief Creative Officer for Lucasfilm was done a few months ago and wasn't new news. Then again, I gave up giving a shit about Lucasfilm months ago too, so..." And that hits the nail on the head. This isn't news. This is nonsense meant to sanitize Lucasfilm's image. Disney is operating under the assumption that the disgruntled portion of the fanbase, aka the space pirates, Disney believes that we still have a favorable view of Dave Filoni. But as usual, they don't understand us.
You just don't get it, do you? You don't.
Nothing less than complete surrender to the fanbase and the jettisoning of Kathleen Kennedy and her acolytes, including Dave Filoni, will ever appease us. There is almost no winning us back. In the meantime, we just sit back and keep on humiliating them. On a bit of a side note, I've heard a lot of people in the comment section recently get black-pilled and say that none of this stuff matters. It doesn't matter when a film like The Marvels does so poorly at the box office because Disney will just be subsidized by the likes of BlackRock. And I think y'all are missing the point of what we're doing in this space. We aren't trying to literally bankrupt Disney. That's not going to happen because they are simply too big to fail. The United States government would bail them out big time. No, we need to bankrupt them culturally. We need to put as many black eyes on these vanity projects of theirs as possible. Humiliate them with shitty box offices and funny memes. Eventually, we will make it unthinkable to write these kind of crappy movies and stories. Stay white-pilled, my dudes, and ignore static like this with Dave Filoni. Yes, they're grooming him to be Kennedy's replacement, so what they're saying is that there are no changes and there won't be any changes anytime soon, so just keep boycotting these dumbasses and do your part to ensure that everyone sees them for the clowns that they are. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.